Nearly 2 months since the shootings in Las Vegas that left 58 people dead, and today survivors, friends and families are putting their lives back together, including a local survivor. 23 ABC's Leah Pizzetti has more on the stranger that became a hero for one Tehachapi woman.
On October 1st, hundreds, thousands of lives were changed. One of those lives, Rachel Shepard. She's a local from Tehachapi that, like so many others, went to this concert with friends and, like so many others, barely walked away.
It's a hard memory.
Originally, I wasn't supposed to go. It was kind of like a last-minute thing.
The memory of coming close to death.
Every time he would start going again, we'd drop.
As close as one can get.
There were a couple times where I was prepared. I was like, this is it. Like, I'm gonna die.
Rachel Shepard remembers. She remembers getting shot. She remembers the hours it took to get to the hospital. She remembers clinging to keep each breath from becoming a last breath.
Deep breath in, deep breath out. I'm just thinking of my dad and my mom.
She remembers Jake.
Out of the corner of my eye, for some reason, I saw a girl screaming for help.
In the middle of the chaos, Jake, a random stranger with no formal medical training, saw Rachel on the ground after getting shot.
People think about it all the time, you know, how you would react. I still think about it. And honestly, I guess until it really happens, you don't know.
Jake knew without thinking he had to help her.
Honestly, I don't know why I did what I did. For some reason, I saw her and I knew that she had to be helped.
He helped carry Rachel to the medical tent. When they got there, they became part of the confusion. Rachel called her boyfriend, who had just landed in Italy for a trip, thinking it would be goodbye.
I wanted to talk to him one last time and tell him that I loved him because I didn't think I was gonna make it.
Eventually, it was their turn to leave the medical tent and go to the hospital.
There wasn't room for her in the ambulance, but the guy told me I asked if I could hold her in the corner, and they said that'd be fine, so I held her all the way to the hospital.
Rachel remembers all of this. She remembers getting in the ambulance and seeing other victims, a man who had been shot in the head. Jake says he tried to keep her focused on herself because she was losing a lot of blood.
I yelled at him a couple times because he kept telling me, you need to tell me a story, keep talking to me. And I was like, I can barely breathe. I can't tell you a story.
When they made it to the hospital, Rachel says it was an unimaginable scene.
The floors were covered in blood, the walls, it was absolutely insane. It was like out of a movie. When you watch a movie and that would never happen. And this happened.
Rachel's last memory before going into her first surgery, a doctor, she still hasn't found out who, came into her room.
He grabbed my face and he said, you know, we're going to do this. We're going to get you out of here. And then he just said, you're going to make it and you're going to do this. And I went under. And I think that was like a huge mindset. Like right before I went under.
It took 13 hours for doctors to figure out exactly where Rachel had been shot. She was hit 3 times, her spleen, her liver, and her aorta. Doctors told her she should have been dead within minutes after getting shot in the heart. But Rachel didn't die. She says throughout her time in the hospital, doctors would stop in and just stare at her in disbelief. They called her a miracle, but she disagrees.
They would come into my room and be in shock, and they couldn't believe that I was even awake. And they would tell me that, you know, you're a miracle. And I say, no, you're the miracle. Look what you did.
Rachel attributes her survival to the doctors who helped her, to her friends who stayed by her side, and to Jake.
I wouldn't have lived if it weren't for Jake holding my wound and making sure that I didn't just bleed out.
Now she's on the road to recovery. The bullets are still inside of her and she had her sternum cut and wired shut. She's in physical therapy, working to regain strength.
I completely have to rely on everybody for everything now. I mean, I can't lift anything over 5 pounds. I can't bend over. I can't turn around.
She's also recovering from the emotional damage, afraid of going places alone, not knowing what could happen.
And it sucks because I'm a very independent person, so I like to go do things on my own and now I don't know if I could ever do anything alone, not having somebody by my side.
Thankfully, Rachel says she has a strong support system from her friends, family, and her new friend, Jake, who, after saving a complete stranger's life, stays humble.
No, I'm definitely not a hero. You know, there's the true heroes are the people that protect us every day. I was just doing something that I had to do because I was given the opportunity.
The two say they have a bond that will never be broken. They also both have a new outlook on life. Jake hugs his 3 kids and wife in Ventura a little tighter.
It's definitely made me realize that life can be very short, and just try to live it the best you can.
And Rachel has plans to take advantage of her second chance.
I look at life and think I should have died, and how am I still alive? And it's amazing to see that my life was truly meant to be. I'm meant to be here.
A second chance at life that will not be wasted. Leah Pizzetti, 23 ABC.